This is Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJOL. It's time for Money Talk, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, protecting yourself from holiday fraud. Hey, grow your money your way. NuMark Credit Union is offering a 4.25 APY for terms of 13 months CD IRA special. Act now, available for a limited time. Other rates and terms are available. Federally insured by NCUA. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. NuMark, where you are family. I'd like to say good morning to a couple of folks from NuMark Credit Union who are going to tell us how we can protect ourselves from holiday fraud. Lucy Castello is Vice President of Operations with NuMark Credit Union. Hi, Lucy. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate that. We also have on Mateo Munoz, card specialist with NuMark Credit Union. Hey, Mateo.
Hey, Scott. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate you guys very, very much. This is a really important topic because we're going to be flinging some plastic, guys, over the next 3 weeks here and doing some other things, shopping online. So we thought it'd be a good idea to have you on today to get people prepared for what they're about to do in terms of shopping. Before we do that, though, Lucy, if you could please tell us a little bit about your role as Vice President of Operations at NuMark.
Well, I oversee the card services and a couple of other areas. They keep me busy. I help with fraud, so I can definitely provide some insight here.
Well, that's good. Well, that's bad, but that's good that we're going to be getting some insight. And Mateo, what about you? What's card service specialist's responsibility?
My responsibility in the company is to help all of our members and our staff with any questions that have to do with cards or even some of the operational stuff as well on a daily basis.
All right. Good. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I got a bunch of questions. I'm going to fire at you guys. You can jump in, whoever wants to take it. I'll probably point a couple of these. If I'm pointing to the wrong person, that's okay. The other person can jump in also, but I'm sure you guys are well-versed on all of these. The holidays, as we mentioned, finally upon us. What are some of the financial dangers that people can encounter? Luz, let's go with you first.
Sure. There are a lot of different scams out there. We're seeing a lot of gift card drain scams where people are purchasing gift cards at a retail store. They're sitting out on a kiosk. So unfortunately, some of those fraudsters are grabbing those cards, getting the information off of them, and then when they see that funds have been added, they're spending them. So by the time the recipient gets to use that card, those funds are gone. We're also seeing some social media scams where fraudsters are taking product information from legitimate sites and creating fake websites with deep discounts. Obviously, those deep discounts are getting people's attention. So they post those ads on various social media sites, and when someone clicks, unfortunately, those fraudsters collect their money and personal information and send them nothing in return. We're also still seeing that old fake shipping delivery notification. Mm-hmm. They're hoping that people will click on those and they'll grab their login information. So that's some of the scams that we're seeing nowadays. Mateo can tell you a little bit about QR code scams too.
Yeah,
we're also seeing.
Yeah, let's definitely get into the QR code scams, Mateo.
Absolutely, Scott. So primarily speaking, QR codes are a great piece of technology in our era of time that we're living through, but as much as they are good, they can also be bad. The people that have nefarious means to do this, like the fraudsters, actually lay over identical QR code stickers over on top of the legitimate ones in museums, in places that are common ground. So even when you think you're scanning something legitimate, you're not. And just by taking a single picture of this QR code, it will compromise your account and anything that has to do with your device just by allowing them full access.
Oh, QR code's interesting. 4 or 5 years ago, they were kind of on the outs. Now they're hot again, Mateo.
Yes, they are. Restaurants, banks, facilities, museums, a lot of the bars have them for menus, which I always tell everybody they still have physical menus. Please ask for a physical menu or go on their website.
Interesting.
Never scan anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, so how can we tell? Like, for example, when you go pump gas, they say, look at we put your credit card in or your debit card, look and see if it's, bolted on from the outside, if it looks like it's not part of the original building of the gas pump. You've heard that before. How can we tell QR codes are fake, or is there any way to do that?
Primarily speaking, there is not a way, because just a naked eye, it looks to be perfectly fine. But you can see if there's a sticker over it. Okay. That would be the number one thing that I would say. The case that I've seen, that this is where I got the information from, stated that a person scanned a QR code somewhere in California in a big amusement park. I'm not going to say a name, but this code asked him to put some information to get a pass, and he did. With his information. 15 to 30 minutes later, it ended up started to drain his account with multiple charges because they have clear access to all of them, like I said, with one picture taken.
Oh, now I'm freaking out. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, Scott. Thank you.
That's good. I'm freaking out just a little bit. It's like, dang, I'm a QR code guy now, too. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. All right. So why do you suppose, Luce, why... I think it's pretty easy, but maybe you can bring some insight into this. It's easy because there's so many people shopping. It's the law of averages. They feel like, with a billion people shopping this time of year, they're going to score, and they usually do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Scammers know that during the holiday season, people have money to spend. They also know that with the stress and the busyness of the holidays, people can let their guard down. Additionally, scammers now have more tools at their disposal to commit fraud. With the advancements in artificial intelligence, it's become easier for them to create convincing holiday scams that are hard to detect. So whether it's a fake ad on social media or a phishing attempt via text or email, some scams have become increasingly difficult to distinguish from the legitimate offers that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Mateo, are we missing anything with some of these scams? What are some of the more common scams? We've talked about some of them. We did QR codes. We did some of the other things as well, the gift cards. Anything else that we're missing that might be something that we could get hit with?
Absolutely. So, like Lucy said, primarily speaking, it's always, if it's too good to be true, it most likely is. That's the rule of thumb that we have in our department. And that goes with part of emails. Like, that emails look so good now that artificial intelligence can replicate it to look exactly how your bank, how TJ Maxx, how Walmart, whatever merchant it is, to do it. So always go to the physical website. And even when, let's say, your partner or a family member of you, Scott, or whoever, sends you a link to buy something, you go and find the name of it and find it in the actual website itself rather than use the link that they sent you. And I know that kind of seems a little too much, but it's safer that way for yourself and for them, because you don't want to order something and they found a link that it isn't legitimate. Now you're compromised because they sent you the bogus link. Right.
Okay, that makes good sense. We're talking this morning with Lucy Castello of NuMark Credit Union and Mateo Munoz of NuMark Credit Union. We're talking about protecting yourself from holiday fraud. Let's get back into shopping online. We talked about some of the dangers. Now let's talk about protection. What can we do to protect ourselves? We'll let both of you jump in here and piggyback on this. Luce, let's start with you.
Sure. If paying with your debit card, I'd say limit the amount of funds in the account attached to that card. There's no reason why you can't have a separate account that you're just going to use for shopping, and then just keep in there or transfer in there what you are going to spend. Another thing is card controls. Card controls are an excellent option where you can turn your debit card off when you're not using it. It doesn't affect the recurring purchases. Those will still go through, but any fraudsters get a hold of your card information, they will get declined. You can use a virtual card. Nowadays, there's a lot of options for virtual cards, whether it be a gift card or a debit card or a travel card. So virtual cards are available. Also, you can put your debit card into a digital wallet that creates a token, so your actual debit card number isn't shared. You can pay with a credit card. Obviously, those are not linked directly to your account, and that's a very safe way of keeping your money in your accounts. And you have the option, obviously, to dispute those purchases. I'm sorry, I took over from Mateo. I answered all of the questions.
Oh, that's okay. He's got more. He's got an abundance of yes.
And this goes along for you as well, Scott. This is the way that you can protect yourself completely when it comes to QR codes, and a great piece of technology that NuMark and a lot of banks offer, and it's called Apple Pay or Android Pay. Yes. Tapless capacity allows you to go anywhere Even shell pumps, how you were saying earlier, you can actually now tap your card, and that's the safest way to mask your information. And if there is a skimmer, a shimmer, or any of the pieces of information that the fraudster used to get your information, you will not be compromised because they can get the full number at all.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What about Apple? You said Apple Pay, but if you set up your debit card through your phone, is that as safe as Apple Pay or no?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. It has biometrics embedded into it. So you know how iPhones or Androids or Google phones now have the technology that you have to put your face in it, and you have to put a passcode behind it. The only way that somebody will be able to get your information is if they had either one of those two. So yes, it's for sure 1,000% safer.
Good. All right, so that's shopping online. What about shopping in store?
When you shop in store, I would probably say that the same thing applies. I know recently I went to Best Buy, and they offer Apple Pay, but it depends on the merchant too, because Walmart, being as big as they are, they do not accept Apple Pay. So you can just try to make sure that, like Lucia said, either if you want to use your credit card or your debit card, that the product that it is that you're getting online, is available, because that's another thing that happens around the holidays a lot, out of stock orders, and they have to redirect you elsewhere. But in store, it would be just to primarily either do pickups or pay with your card. You don't even necessarily need to add it to your phone if you're not comfortable with doing that. The actual NuMark debit card or any bank card can have this capacity, and all you do is hover it over the POS system, and it will ask you for your PIN, or you sign for that credit side.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That's a really, really good idea. Okay, so talked about the scams, talked about how to prevent it. Now we mess up. We get dinged. What should we do if we are concerned that we fell victim to a scam?
So the first thing that anybody...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead, Lucy. No.
You go ahead.
So I was just going to say the first thing that anybody should do is check their account as soon as possible and call their financial institution right away.
Okay.
Time is of the essence of being able to stop it, because it's literally meaning that they will clear out an account until it stops and it starts declining.
Lucy, what else you got for me?
I was going to say that you have so much access to all of your account information that is given to you. You have home banking, you can call in. So I recommend that people constantly are monitoring their account. That is definitely one way to tell immediately that there is an issue. If you know that there is less money in there than there should be, then you certainly give us a call. If you've fallen victim to a scam, there's various types of scams. So depending on the scam, NuMark can help you navigate through those options. For example, with a debit card transaction, NuMark can help you process a dispute for those fraudulent transactions. For other types of scams that may affect your identity, we provide information on locking down your credit report, what recommended steps you should take to monitor your credit going forward. We also recommend reporting that incident to the Federal Trade Commission and Social Security Administration, because there's a lot of things that can happen once they get a hold of your full identity. If your computer or phone were infected, we're going to obviously suggest to have them reviewed for malware and add some type of virus protection going forward.
You mentioned debit card. If we're using it, is our debit card, because I know a lot of people are like, I'm going to use my credit card, I don't want my debit card out there. I get that. Mateo, you actually even mentioned that's one thing you can do also to avoid being scammed. Are we protected like a credit card company as far as NuMark if someone does get a hold of our debit card information?
Absolutely. We can help you navigate through all of that fraud by helping complete all the dispute forms so that we can, basically go back to those merchants and say, this was not the member. This was a fraudster, and we're requesting those funds back. So we can certainly help you navigate through all of that.
Okay. Good to know. Very, very good to know. All right, guys, before we spring you two, and you've been a wealth of knowledge here, let's get your thoughts, both of you. Mateo, we'll start with you. Tips that listeners should be aware of when buying gifts for their loved ones this year. Anything you have in mind?
Absolutely. So the number one thing, and I will plug NuMark up with this as well, is that we now have plastic and virtual gift cards to gift. They're only $2.95 for both members and non-members. And as Lucy said earlier, if big places like Starbucks or grocery stores can get hit and you go and buy a card thinking that you're buying a legitimate card, but now it's empty, we at NuMark will take care of you in any need, so you don't have to send cash. You don't have to feel worried about sending a gift card that is empty when you give us $500 to put in it. So that's the number one thing.
Lucy, what about you?
If it's too good to be true, it usually is. I think that is something that everyone needs to remember during the holiday season. For me, also social media ads, be sure to review all those websites and ads thoroughly. Make sure that you research that website on a search engine to see if there's any negative reviews or claims of fraud. And always go directly to that merchant site instead of clicking a link to get there. Obviously, buying gift cards behind the counter or virtual gift card, like Mateo said, those are great. And I think something that a lot of people forget or maybe don't even think of is some of the scams that we see. People are being called and told, oh, you need to make a payment and you need to buy all of these gift cards to pay us. No one is ever going to ask, no organization is ever going to ask you to pay in gift cards. Yep. So if anyone ever asks you that you need, let's say that they're saying that they're the IRS or any other organization during the holidays, people, they'll freak people out. So if anyone ever tells you that you need to pay them in gift cards, it's a fraud. Yep. For sure.
Well said. Well said. Lucy Castello and Mateo Munoz, guys, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it. I wish both of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Likewise, Scott. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate that. All right. It's now time for me to give away a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. I have a question that I'm going to ask right now. Again, 815-254-7300. I believe it was Lucy who said this at the very end. She also said it at the beginning. If it's too good to be true, fill in the rest for a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. While we're waiting for your call, you can grow your money your way. NuMark Credit Union offering a 4.25 APY for terms of 13 months. It's a CD IRA special. Act now. Available for a limited time. Other rates and terms available. Federally insured by NCUA. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. NuMark Credit Union, where you are family. Let's go to the Turk Furniture studio line. Hi, good morning. Who am I speaking to?
John.
John, where are you calling from today?
Joliet.
Joliet. All right, John. Fill in the blank. If it's too good to be true,
it probably is a fraud.
It probably is. Absolutely. So, John, congratulations. Hang on the line. I got to get some information from you. You have won a $25 Visa gift card just in time for the holidays from our friends at NuMark Credit Union, where you are family.